What's going on, everybody? GHG's Reborn here, and welcome to another edition of After the Movie. Now, in just about an hour and a half or so, I'm going to be heading over to my local theater, and I'm going to be getting my seat down, getting my drink, getting my popcorn. I'm going to be sitting in the theater, I'm going to be watching a new Star Wars movie, only 5 months after the last movie, which was The Last Jedi, which was terrible. Oh boy. We're now on to Solo, a Star Wars story, or some people are calling it Soilo, a Soy Wars story. Disney and Lucasfilm just being dicks about it. If you don't like the movie, this film has had just so much shit going on with it. It was almost completely reshot with Ron Howard, Kathleen Kennedy, or as I like to call her, Trashleen Kennedy, because she's terrible, doesn't know what she's doing with this franchise. Say what you want about George Lucas and the prequels. That was his vision, but at the same time, if you didn't like the movies, George Lucas wouldn't come at you and attack you, calling you all sorts of horrific names, and shitting on the fans. This new regime, these fucking assholes who are in charge of the movies, I can't stand them. The only one that I liked of these new Star Wars movies was Rogue One, and I didn't have to hear really too much about you're a piece of shit if you don't like it. It's really been since The Last Jedi and a bit of The Force Awakens. Not too much, because a lot of people left that satisfied. I just think of The Force Awakens as a meh movie. I don't really love it. I don't really hate it. It just kind of comes and goes for me. Rogue One, while the two leads are pretty boring, the third act is incredible. That Darth Vader scene was fucking cool. I like the supporting characters in that film. It's shot beautifully. It's the best looking Star Wars movie. Upon my rewatching, I enjoyed director Krennic. There was something cool about it. The Last Jedi, on the other hand, was an absolute just disgrace of a movie. I can't believe it got released in theaters the way it did. It completely destroyed Luke Skywalker's character. It was absolutely atrocious. And ever since that movie's been released, I mean, there's channels who make videos on The Last Jedi and the Star Wars fandom every single day. Look, I made a video a while back on it. When I think it was the last video I did or the first video I released this year on my channel was, because we wanted to wait some time to really let the movie settle in, where I waited for my friend Marlon so we could talk about it. And we just both hated it. I went with my friends, we saw that movie, we hated it, and I hadn't seen it since until last Friday when I rewatched the movie with some of my friends. We decided to get some alcohol and try and have a good laugh at it. And it just, I hated it even more. Although, we did put on the movie with descriptive audio, and then we just kept replaying some scenes. Because if you ever want a good laugh, I'll tell you what, the only thing that makes The Last Jedi more enjoyable to watch, well, alcohol is good, a good factor, but still not enough. Watch it with descriptive audio, where they have to describe the scenes. We were laughing so hard, and the scene where he has to describe Luke Skywalker milking the thing is yes, Luke Skywalker looks and gives a scowl, and he's milking the thing, and I'm just like, what is this shit? But it was so stupid, but I was kind of having a laugh at it. But The Last Jedi was just absolutely awful. So that brings us to Solo, a Star Wars story. Now the fandom is at an all-time hatred for this, and it wouldn't be so bad if the fans weren't getting shit on by Lucasfilm and all the assholes running it for disliking the movies. When, like I said, when George Lucas got shit for the prequels, he didn't go out of his way to attack the fans. He wasn't calling them, all sorts of horrific names, racist, misogynist, you hate women, oh, you're just an angry Caucasian male. That's what's really been the most upsetting thing about it. Now, I don't really like to talk about, the political aspects of that. I'm just if you have your viewpoints, I don't give a shit. I just kind of want it out of Star Wars, because Star Wars has just been this universal franchise that it didn't matter who you were. Everyone could just kind of come together every couple of years and just watch it and have a good time with it. Obviously, the prequels weren't as well received, but you look at that original trilogy, that fantastic trilogy of films. It was universally loved. It was embraced. It was fun. I mean, obviously, Return of the Jedi, people didn't like the Ewok stuff for the most part, but it's just been universally loved. There wasn't this anger and hatred amongst the community between the filmmakers, J.J. Abrams being a dick about it, Rian Johnson being a jerk, Trashleen Kennedy and her regime. There wasn't this. And so now that brings us to Solo. And how long has this been video going on? 4 minutes. I haven't even gone to the theater yet, and I'm still ranting, I should say, about this franchise as a whole. So yeah, I'll put a thing in the description when the actual like video starts, so people can check it out. But or the actual review portion, I should say. So this brings us to Solo. Obviously, the things happened with Phil Lord and Chris Miller, which was very disappointing to see because I like Phil Lord and Chris Miller a lot. The 21 and 22 Jump Street movies are fantastic. I absolutely love Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and the Lego movie is so good. What the hell happened? How did they... It's just been a mess, you know, with this whole new Lucasfilm regime. It's just been really upsetting for me to watch as a fan, just to see all this anger and hostility, and just the filmmakers and that just being complete assholes to the fans about it, who have legit... If you have legit criticisms about that, remember, you're just a terrible person. So I've not appreciated that about it, and it just made a lot of fans after The Last Jedi want to boycott Solo, just don't want to see it under their own principle, which I get. I'm not actually really going to be paying for it. I have a gift card that was given to me as a gift, so that's my way to see it, and it's just been disappointing. So, yep, I think this movie's going to be okay. I have no idea if it's going to be... From what I heard, it's just going to be an okay movie. So... I guess that's good, which sucks because it's Star Wars. It's 5 months is too short in between these movies. It used to be a big event thing every couple of years. Star Wars is no longer special, thanks to Lucasfilm and that now. So, yeah. Alright, looks like my battery's about to die. So, I'll let you know what I think about it after the movie, and I've got a lot to say when it comes to coming back and talking about it. So, yes, time for after the movie. I'll let you know what I think about Solo, a Soy Wars story, or Solo, a Star Wars story, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's going to be meh. It's probably just going to be average, which is going to be just eh. So, yep. I'll let you know what I think about it after the movie.
Oh my god, was that shit.
Wasn't good.
It was pretty terrible. So I'm here with my friend Jordan. I think the last video you were in was my...
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, like 3 years ago. This was just... insufferable. I thought it would just be a meh movie. This is a pointless movie. It doesn't need to exist at all. Nothing good happens in it. Alden Ehrenreich or whatever is not very good. Emilia Clarke's not very good.
I don't think anyone was very good.
Nobody was good in the movie. Woody Harrelson was pointless. The film, it looked disgusting. Like, it just looked awful. There's like a shitty haziness to like the cinematography. The action sequences are very static. Nothing exciting. The music is lackluster. Just nothing interesting happens. This is the most pointless film I think I've ever seen. You know, as insufferable as The Last Jedi was, this was just... I don't know. Like, The Last Jedi is more infuriating for what it does to Luke Skywalker and what it does, but this one is just more... At least it felt like some stuff was happening. That's the only thing I can say. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of action sequences, which is fine, but they're all consequential. No, if I said that right. But then, the movie felt like it's at the end a giant tease to watch Star Wars Rebels. So
I don't watch Rebels. It just fuck. This was... What the fuck happened to Star Wars?
Star Wars Episode 9. Remember when these movies used to be good?
This is just bad. Like, fix that light there. This is just total dog shit. Like, this is terrible. I can't believe it. I don't know what really to say. Like, there's no villain, really, in this movie. No worthwhile antagonist. No real end goal. They have to get this fuel stuff because Han wants to save his girlfriend and... What is it called? Coaxium?
Yeah, something
called Coaxium. Like, his girlfriend gets separated from him. He's like, I'm going to be a pilot someday. He doesn't have no charm, no charisma. Nobody in this movie has any real charm or charisma. I hear people raving about Lando in this movie. Lando doesn't... He's just okay. I don't see what the big deal about him is.
I think L3 was maybe the most annoying character in the history of cinema.
Yeah, L3 is this annoying droid that wants to have a sexual relationship with Lando, and thankfully she gets blown up. We were the audience clapping, which, by the way, we went to this movie.
About 6 people there.
There's 6 people in the theater. This is a Star Wars movie. This is opening night. Star Wars is usually sold out. The interest in this movie is at an all-time low. Word of mouth is going to be shit. I don't understand how this thing even has remotely positive reviews. It's absolutely atrocious. There's no point to it. I have a feeling that there's Disney shills out there who are just like, yeah, lower your expectations. You'll like the movie. No. It's they're trying to keep their perks for some stupid reason. I don't buy the slightly positive reviews it's getting. I don't buy that at all. I really don't. I can't see how this movie is enjoyed. I really don't.
Well, I think it's the Transformers treatment. If you like big, loud, dumb movies, this is probably right up your alley.
No, but even then, like, Transformers still get shit on by everyone. This thing, it's just because it's Star Wars. Star Wars automatically gets a free pass for anything, it seems like. This is awful, atrocious. The only cool scene is, like, a small cameo from fucking Darth Maul. I'm going to spoil it because it's 2 seconds and it has no factor on the plot whatsoever.
I mean, it's basically just a plug to watch Rebels. Like, oh, Darth Maul's back. Watch Rebels, and you can see what happens.
Yeah, it's sequel bait. This shit sequel baits itself. Yeah, the other thing, he makes the Kessel Run, and it just takes 40 minutes. It's like with 40 minutes left in the movie, you're like, what are we... Okay, so he makes the Kessel Run, which we all know he does. There's like 40 minutes left in this movie. What are we going to do? And I'm just sitting there like, by God, will this thing just fucking end? Thankfully, I didn't have to really pay for it. I used a gift card, but still, this was... Fuck, I can't believe it. Star Wars to me is... It's no longer special.
Yeah, it's disappointing for sure. God, I mean, if Episode 9 is going to be like this, we're really in trouble. But don't worry, guys. J.J. Abrams will save the day, I'm sure.
Fucking J.J. Abrams, that guy is...
The guy who can't close a series to save his life.
Yeah, look what he did with Wrath of Khan. I mean, Into Darkness. J.J. Abrams has no creative bones in his own body. Like, all his movies are rip-offs of, like, other movies. The only good movie I liked of J.J. Abrams, I haven't seen Mission Impossible 3, but, like, I actually liked the '09 Star Trek, because it rebooted the series in a way, but continued from the previous timeline. It had an engaging plot and good characters. Into Darkness had a good start, and then it just crashed and burned as soon as it tried to rehash Wrath of Khan, because J.J. Abrams likes to rehash it. Super 8 was nothing but his Spielberg...
Super 8 was terrible.
Yeah, Super 8 was just him trying to make a Spielberg movie. Again, no sense of identity. The Force Awakens is literally just a remake of A New Hope. He's like, I gotta make a movie that someone else made, because I don't have any creativity with me. It's awful. J.J. Abrams is going to make another crappy Star Wars movie. I'm sick of it. The only one I liked of these new movies was Rogue One. Rogue One at least had some good cinematography. The epic scene at the end with Darth Vader was worth the price of admission. You had, like, Star Destroyer ships crashing into each other. It looked visually stunning. There was good music to it. This was awful. There's no good music. The chase scenes look awful. The lighting and color palette just look like crap.
But dude, Han Solo loves his girlfriend. What do you not like about that?
I don't give a shit. We all know he hooks up with Princess Leia, which, by the way, you know, Princess Leia, well, she's not really mentioned it. The Emperor's not in it. Where's Palpatine? I thought that cameo was going to be Palpatine. I'm like, what is with his voice? But it's not him.
Yeah, it's just...
There's nothing really to spoil. Don't see this movie at all. There's nothing really to spoil. There's really nothing.
The only thing we could spoil is that Darth Maul is in the movie for 30 seconds.
Really, I was like, holy shit, Darth Maul, the only cool thing in the movie, and then he's gone. He was entirely useless to this movie.
The movie's ending is extremely unsatisfying. It's very cliffhangery and
anticlimactic. Obviously, we know the issue with this film, that it underwent major reshoots. They fired Phil Lord and Chris Miller for Ron Howard. I don't know. Ron Howard didn't save shit for this movie. I'm very curious to know what Phil Lord and Chris Miller did to where they had to get fired. You know, the guys who made great movies like the 21 and 22 Jump Street, and they made the Lego movie. This was terrible.
This movie didn't have very many jokes in it.
It wasn't funny at all. I did not laugh once. I didn't laugh once.
You figured something with Ron Howard and then these two guys who made 21 Jump Street would have some sort of humor in it, but it really didn't. Because even Last Jedi, as bad as it was, there were some funny jokes in it.
Yeah, there's a few moments, and it's shot well, and there's maybe like one or two parts that are decent in it, but like, that's it. That movie, I'd rather almost watch... You know what? Fuck it.
No, this movie is not as bad as Last Jedi.
I'd almost rather watch scenes from The Last Jedi than this film. I feel so disconnected from this movie. Think about this. If this was its own thing, not connected to Star Wars, would it be any... What would be the point of it? What would you learn?
Set up a stupid sequel for a movie I didn't really care for that much.
Exactly. Star Wars just gets a free pass too easily on some shit. No, this doesn't fly with me. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Fuck, Star Wars used to be special. It's been 5 months since the last movie. You used to wait a couple years for the next episode. I can't stand this. I'm done.
I mean, if you gotta see it, go see it as a Manatee showing.
Don't pay to see this movie. Wait for video. Wait for home video if you have to see it.
It's
do not see this in the theater. I swear to God, you're wasting your money and you're wasting your time. The only reason I'm seeing it is because I had a gift card that I got for a gift. You know, gift card that's in the name. And I'm like, let's see how this is. Let's see if they try and redeem themselves.
Also, what is the deal with AMC 20? Why are they putting?
Okay, yeah, well, fuck AMC 20.
27 minutes of previews.
27 minutes. The movie was supposed to start at 7:30. There was like 6 of us in this entire theater. It's
8
opening night for a
previews.
Star. 8 fucking previews.
And that doesn't include the Grinch teasers they included.
Yeah, the
in between
Grinch
the
just shows
previews.
up in between. I was like, yeah, I'm the Grinch. Yes.
And then the shameless AMC concessions plugs as well. So in total, we had probably about 10 to 11 previews.
Yeah, it was absolutely just
It's just ridiculous. Why? Like 3 should be the max.
exactly. So, yeah, there's not much else to say about this movie. Don't go see Solo, or some people are referring to it as Soylo, a Soy Wars story.
That's referred to as bad.
Just bad. Trashling Kennedy needs to be banned from Star Wars. This is going to be a flop. I can't see audiences wanting to flock to this movie. Rogue One, I could see some of it because there's some really cool stuff, especially in the third act.
Rogue One was good.
Yeah, Rogue One was good. The Last Jedi, it's episode 8 of Star Wars, so it's obviously going to do things. But, like, the fan divide and the interest in this Han Solo movie has just gone down more and more. It's going to be, hopefully it'll be a flop. I mean, that's mean to say, but
I mean, honestly, there were literally 6 people in the theater on opening night, so I can't imagine this trending. I heard the buy rate for the pre-sales were already lower than expected, so
yeah, this movie's gonna not do well. And you know what, deservedly so.
well, they make a good movie, so
They didn't make a good movie. They don't deserve money. So yes. So long, Solo. That's all I gotta say. I mean, we're not gonna get it. We shouldn't get any more of these prequels, midquels. I'm sick of this shit. Just give me, if you're gonna do a Star Wars movie, like one of these spin-offs, just don't tie it to the original trilogy. Give me something so outside the box, just kind of like distant from everything else, because you're just gonna make me want to watch the original trilogy or the prequels. I'll watch the prequels like 100 times over this shit. At least I had some cool stuff in those movies. This movie, there's nothing cool.
after seeing Rose and L3, Jar Jar Binks is not looking so bad right now.
Give me Jar Jar Binks. Give me Jar Jar. I'm serious. Give me that over this. At least I could have something to like yell at. I'm just looking at this movie and I'm just bored out of my mind. I was fucking bored. I wanted this movie to end.
I guess if I had to summarize this before I go, I wish I just had 4 hands so I could give the movie 4 thumbs down. That's about my summary of it.
Yeah, mine too. Fuck this movie. Star Wars is done for right now, at least. At least we don't have to wait. At least we're not getting one this year. We're getting the next one next year, right?
Oh, yay.
Yay, episode
Yay.
9. The JJ makes a terrible movie. So,
But maybe episode 10 will be good. Yeah.
are they even making that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck it.
Who cares?
God
just,
damn it.
Just buy their video games because it's the only way you're probably going to ever figure out how this story ends.
I don't know. It's just awful. Absolutely atrocious.
Sayonara.
Alright, thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm done. Fuck Solo, whatever you want to call it, a Star Wars story. I'm done. Fucking A.
Hey.
A. Fuck this movie.